Hi, cute girl. Are you feeling good? You are? Hey, buddy. Welcome to the 2020 Hall of Fame.
Hi. Hola. Marhaban.
Ciao.
Ni hao. Hello. Hola. Hi.
Great to see you in Solway.
Bienvenidos.
Привет, друзья!
Swagat hai.
Welcome.
Xin chào. Konnichiwa.
Herzlich willkommen. Hello.
Bonjour!
Howdy.
Welcome to the event.
You're watching the Edmond Public Schools Foundation Virtual Hall of Fame, sponsored by Brad Reeser.
Thank you for the warm welcome from all of the Edmond Public Schools students. In Edmond Public Schools, students can learn numerous languages, from Spanish to Chinese, and how lovely that so many of them shared their knowledge with us in that welcome. When I was asked to join you for this event, I knew I wanted to be part of it. My kids Eleanor, Wyatt, and Amelie all attend Edmond Public Schools, and my husband Stephen is an educator for Edmond Public Schools at Edmond North. I hope you'll be inspired by the stories and people who care for and educate our kids every day. And I hope you will be moved to support our schools through your donations tonight. With more about this event and how you can support the needs of our schools, here is Cole Stanley, 2020 Hall of Fame Chair.
Although we would love to be with you in person this year as we had planned, like all of you, we have been adjusting plans and figuring out ways we could bring all of our Edmond community together to celebrate our Hall of Fame inductees. This is also our largest fundraiser of the year for the Edmond Public Schools, where we raise funds for our schools and classrooms. Now we are here, joined with all of you virtually, to continue our work of bringing the community together to meet the needs of Edmond Public School District. Tonight you will hear from students, teachers, Superintendent Town, our inductees, and many others about the needs in our schools and how the foundation is a partner in meeting those needs. We also want to continue our tradition started in 2014 of honoring those from our community who have contributed to Edmond Public Schools. Mr. Hal French, Mr. Caleb McCaleb, and posthumously Dr. Sharon House. Thank you for joining us from your homes. Be sure to engage with us on social media at EdmondPSF to find out how you can donate.
As an Edmond Public Schools student and an Edmond Public Schools Foundation student ambassador, I want to welcome you to our virtual Hall of Fame. As a student ambassador, I've learned about the tremendous needs of our district and how the foundation helps meet those needs. Your support is essential to maintaining the excellence in education I've been fortunate to receive through Edmond Public Schools. Because of the Edmond community, I get to experience this top-notch education and pursue my dreams. I love Edmond Public Schools because it allows me to express myself.
I'm sorry, CJ was saying.
EPS Foundation is a key community partner with the district. Standing in and filling the funding gap initiatives, we partner with them on items such as addressing student mental health and student social emotional learning, new and innovative classroom learning activities, special travel assistance for successful student teams going to competitions, and providing funding for teacher professional development. Each of these has a direct impact on educating our students in the classroom. This year, we are expecting a nearly 5% reduction in total state aid through the funding formula, which is significant and will impact students and the classroom. Similar or steeper cuts are projected for the following year when Edmond is opening a new elementary school. Without severe spending cuts for the district, the two-year outlook will push the district into a deficit which is beyond what it can sustain with its reserves. This is the largest downturn since 2008. The assistance that the foundation will provide will be needed and magnified greatly in its power and effect. This year, due to COVID-19, EPS will be preparing students to possibly teach remotely or in a virtual environment. Staff will need additional training and possibly some specialized equipment that we do not have in the district at this time. In the past, the foundation has stepped in and met those needs in our schools. We have a very supportive community, and giving any amount or being involved in a specific fundraiser goes a long way in providing funds that the foundation will use to support our students. Some of the projects the foundation has helped with include supporting our Summer Professional Development Conference, providing support to assist in student travel to national competitions, assisting the curriculum department with STEM grants, and providing leadership opportunities through our Student Ambassador Program. Most recently, the foundation led the way to raise funds for the 2020 senior yard signs and even assisted in distributing them. One of the most exciting initiatives this year included funding 100% of qualified grant applications, resulting in more than $100,000 in funding for our classrooms. Besides the monetary help, I believe the foundation board members are 100% supportive of the teachers and students in the district, and are tremendous ambassadors who tell the positive story of the great things that are happening in our classrooms and in Edmond schools. Behind my church, the Edmond Schools Foundation is the cause that my family supports the most. A monthly contribution or a one-time gift can make a difference to the foundation. Any amount is appreciated, and if you cannot give, ask the foundation how you might be able to get involved in activities that the foundation supports to help our schools. Everyone can be a part in the Edmond Schools Foundation. Quality schools are the economic driver and the cornerstone of our community in Edmond.
Hello, I'm Mark Fish, and I have the privilege to serve as this year's board president for the Edmond Public Schools Foundation. The foundation is a 501c3 not-for-profit entity, and our mission is to connect the community and its resources with the Edmond Public Schools, their needs in the classroom as well as those of the teachers and the students. We're a bit like a PTO for the school district. We work alongside the schools and raise funds to provide for needs that the district is not able to fund from its operating budget. To date, the foundation has provided approximately $4 million in direct support for the district, which has funded a variety of things, including new technology, playground equipment, musical instruments, teacher awards, and professional development, just to name a few. Throughout the program, you will see a few examples of things we have funded recently. Our purpose tonight is to inspire you to join us by investing in the Edmond Public Schools to help continue the academic excellence that we all enjoy being part of this community. The Edmond Public School District is consistently recognized as the top district in the state, typically has the most national merit finalists and the highest average ACT scores in the state. It's now the third largest with more than 25,000 students. And here's really the amazing part. It receives one of the lowest per student levels of funding in the state. In fact, we are 502nd out of 542 school districts in per student funding, yet continue to achieve these amazing results. Your support helps us meet the needs of the district in so many ways. As Superintendent Town has discussed previously, the budget outlook for this year and next will be more challenging than it has been recently. This is where you come in. We need your help to continue the excellence in education here in Edmond that we have come to expect. This community is what it is and has grown to the size that it has because of the Edmond Public Schools. And if you do business here, you have benefited because of the schools. If you're a builder, developer, realtor, home lender, banker, employer, or you own or operate a business here, you have prospered because of the Edmond Public Schools. Just something to think about. So if you feel that you, your family, or your business have benefited from the quality that the Edmond Public Schools have provided over many decades, please join us tonight in supporting the Edmond Public Schools. You can bid on an auction item or donate to support the needs of the schools through a link that is on your screen, or call the number below 405-330-2626 to make your donation. And thank you for your support.
The American Fidelity Foundation was created more than a decade ago to support worthwhile charitable causes. Our focus is mainly on education. Our businesses focus on education, and so does our giving. So this is a project that is really right down Main Street for us from a personal standpoint and from a business standpoint. What you all are doing is really something that we relish the opportunity to support.
At First Fidelity Bank, we believe in the importance of responsibility, whether it's caring for others or financial responsibility. Edmond Public Schools represents that in the way they partner with families, in the way they have a very detailed and a very methodical budget process. And so we're honored to partner with Edmond Public Schools, the Edmond Public Schools Foundation, and be a part of the community here in Edmond. I'm a father of 2 daughters, so I've had the privilege to have a valedictorian at Edmond North. I have a daughter who will be a sophomore at Edmond Memorial. So in our house, we love all dogs, we love all Edmond schools. They're all one to us, and it's exciting to be a part of this community. If you think about nationally how Edmond Public Schools is always recognized as one of the top schools, and I know especially now during the pandemic, there's a lot of people across the state, a lot of people across the region and the country that are looking right here in Edmond at our schools and the way they lead and the way they are responding. So we're proud to be a part of the community as a family and as a partner at First Fidelity Bank. We're so honored, and we're just excited, and we just want to say congratulations to all those on the very deserved honor.
With American Fidelity, a significant part of our culture is really supporting the communities that our colleagues live and work, and many of our colleagues live in Edmond. I mean, they live here, their kids go to school here, they're very active in the community, and so really now more than ever, it's important for us to be able to support the foundation and the great work that they do for Edmond Public Schools. Also, near and dear to our heart are the Edmond teachers. They are customers of American Fidelity because we provide employee benefits to many of the teachers in the community. So we all feel like we're just one family trying to support each other. We do a lot to try to give as much back to the community as we can. Because it's our families, it's all of our customers. We are very involved with making sure that we educate children for the future, because those will all be running our companies in the future. So it's so important for us to be sure that we give the very best to the kids we can.
Mark Williams could not be here for the taping of this event for tonight, but he certainly is appreciative of the fact that the firm, Invest Trust Wealth Management, could be one of the presenting sponsor companies. It's very important to us. Public schools and the foundation is near and dear to Invest Trust. As a matter of fact, we serve as a partner with the foundation in that we provide investment services for the foundation's endowment, and we're very honored to do so.
Thank you to all of the sponsors who support public education and were an important part of making this event happen. Next, we have 2020 graduate and Edmond Public Schools Foundation student ambassador Meg Jackson playing a beautiful Bach cello piece for us. She had planned to play in person at the event, and now more of you have the opportunity to enjoy her extraordinary talent.
Hi, my name is Meg Jackson. I go to Edmond North High School and I'm a senior, and I've been in the orchestra program for 4 years at Edmond North, and I love it. It's truly been a life-changing experience. My teacher has made a large impact in my life, and I am majoring in music at Oklahoma State next year, and I really wouldn't be where I am today without Edmond Public Schools supporting, my hopes and dreams in playing the cello. Today I'm going to play the prelude to Bach's First Cello Suite in G major.
Public Schools are known for their excellence. Edmond leads the state in the number of National Merit finalists and commended scholars, and Edmond students score well above the state and national average in the ACT composite test. We all benefit from the excellence in our schools, whether it's the education we, our children, or grandchildren received, or because we hire our employees from the community of students who attended Edmond Public Schools. We all receive the benefit of that education that Edmond Public Schools provides. Please support the more than 25,000 students at Edmond Public Schools by donating today. Information about how to support by making a donation online or by calling in your donation is right there on your screen. You can give back by donating through EPS Foundation at any of the ways that you see right there.
Universal Insurance Agency asked if I could share their statement with you. At Universal Insurance Agency, we view this sponsorship as more than just a charitable donation. We view it as an investment in our community through the school district. We all benefit through the quality education provided by Edmond Public Schools and feel that the city, state, and nation will benefit for years to come as a result of the educational excellence. Congratulations to the inductees and to the Edmond Public Schools Foundation for this excellent event. We are proud to be a sponsor. Thank you again to all of our sponsors.
As you join us, you can create your own sign like the one you'll see throughout the program.
After you make your donation, print the Support EPS sign from our website, epsf.org, and write why you give support to Edmond Public Schools with hashtag #OneEdmond.
I think especially this year, more than ever, it is important for OU Medical Center Edmond to support Edmond Public Schools Foundation. We're in the middle of an unprecedented health crisis that none of us have ever faced before. So we need students that can rise to the challenge of future health issues and future pandemics. Edmond Public Schools gives students that foundation for critical thinking, math skills, science skills, all things that students are going to need in the future to pursue health careers. And so it's very important for us to continue that excellence in the school system by supporting the foundation.
The Hall of Fame started in 2014 as a way to recognize Edmond Public Schools alumni and educators who've made a significant contribution to the Edmond community and Edmond Public Schools. Since 2014, 20 alumni and educators have received this honor. Our first inductee is Dr. Sharon House. Sharon is being inducted posthumously. Dr. Sharon Dewberry House married Dr. Wilbur House in June of 2004. Together, they had Callie Grace in 2005, and she inherited a son, Rashad House. She loved a good book and was very involved with her church. She was the eldest of 5, born to Catherine and Frank Dewberry, a Baptist minister. After completing her education and graduating summa cum laude with her doctorate in education, administration, and school law in 2003, Dr. House dedicated her life to the education of others. Sharon started her career as a music teacher in Norman in 1986 and came to Edmond Public Schools in 1996, where she would work as an assistant principal at John Ross and Charles Haskell Elementary before becoming head principal at her beloved Will Rogers Elementary. There, she thrived in her element and was the longest standing principal. In 2015, she received the James Burnett Distinguished Principal Award. Every single day, at the end of the announcements, she would always say, "And have a great day." In 2019, she was promoted to an administrative position for the district as Learning and Development Coordinator. During her years with Edmond Public Schools, she developed countless strategies and solutions within the elementary school system. She was an innovator, a mentor, and a friend to so many in the profession. Her husband, Dr. Wilbur House, tells us more about her life. What do you think she was most proud of?
She was most proud of receiving the A. She did receive an A from the state of Oklahoma. She was most proud of that. And she talked about it all of the time and how hard she worked in order to receive that A on the state grade card.
So of course there's pride in her professional life. What about in her personal life?
In her personal life, of course, she was proud of having a family, a daughter, and myself, and being able to be comfortable with a family. She was very, very appreciative of that. One thing that I was impressed with, she was a very, very vivacious reader, and she was a very brilliant student. I know that she graduated from the University of Oklahoma, magna cum laude. That really shocked me, but she went on and received her master's and doctorate from the University of Oklahoma, and her goal was to be an administrator, and that's what she did.
Does this mean anything to you personally to see her be inducted?
It is a very high honor, and I know she would appreciate it, and it's very important.
With such a love for music and education, Dr. House would have been pleased with our next student performance. Alex is a student here in Edmond, and he is inspired by his music teacher at John Ross Elementary. This past year, John Ross received a grant from the EPS Foundation to help provide music education for EPS students. He enjoys sharing his music with his teachers and classmates and wanted to play a Mozart piece for you on the piano. So take it away, Alex.
My name is Alexander Wynn. I'm a 5th grader at John Ross Elementary. I have lots of fun sharing my love of music by playing my favorite piano songs for my teachers and my classmates.
Kirkpatrick Bank is a locally headquartered bank here in Edmond, and community, that's the main reason that we support the foundation and the schools, is because we're a big part of this community, and there's no bigger part of this community than the Edmond Public Schools. We as a bank like to support various businesses around town through loans. We support the schools through donations, through our time. We also buy school bonds and put them in our bank's investment portfolio. So any way that we can support the schools, it is very important to us. From a personal standpoint, my wife and I raised 4 children, daughter and 3 sons, and all of them from kindergarten through graduation were students here in the Edmond Public Schools. They got a great education. I tell my friends, public or private schools, it's the best school district in the state because it offers so much and everybody cares. We all know times are very interesting right now. I mean, unprecedented is a word we've all heard over and over and over again. These are unprecedented times, which calls for unprecedented giving from people. So if you can support in any way at all, please do to help our schools going forward.
Teachers, we want to know what you love about teaching.
If you are an Edmond Public Schools teacher, print the I Teach Because sign from our website, www.edmondpsf.org, and write what you love about teaching.
Then take a picture with it, share, and tag us at EdmondPSF with the hashtag #OneEdmond.
You know that moment in a close game? You may have to think back pretty far from before quarantine when there were still sporting events. You're rooting for the underdog, time is running out, it's the last play of the game, you're holding your breath, you're on the edge of your seat, you're thinking to yourself, this is the moment it all comes down to. Will they do it? These underdogs are just like the students I have the privilege of serving every day at Edmond's alternative education program, Boulevard Academy. These young people I get to work with are at a pivotal moment in their lives, and they need someone to believe in them at this crucial time. Every day I hear from my students who are in really tough situations, about one kid's dad who's in jail, another girl's mom that's a drug addict. Another student has been in foster care his entire life. These kids need education more than ever, but the traditional educational setting doesn't always connect with them. Then you add the COVID-19 pandemic to the mix of these kids' lives. They're supposed to shelter at home when home is not always the safe place it should be. I cannot tell you how many students have told me and told our teachers how much they miss Boulevard Academy during this quarantine. These are the kids that supposedly hate school, but now they miss it, asking me when they can come back. This is why I'm here, and this is where the EPS Foundation comes in. It's because of the EPS Foundation that supports our school initiatives that help our students connect with learning, that make Boulevard Academy a school they miss when they're on break. I don't have to go too far down my roster to tell you about the needs these kids have. The grants that our kids have received from the foundation over the years have helped them experience relevant learning. Amid canceled plans and a postponed graduation, the EPS Foundation still found a way to celebrate seniors. It was the foundation that donated over 1,700 congratulatory graduation yard signs to all EPS graduating seniors. This hits especially close to home for me because my faculty and I personally delivered these signs to dozens of our seniors with a caravan parade. I got to look into the eyes of these seniors who didn't actually think they would ever receive their high school diploma. And let me tell you, it doesn't get much better than to see a student get a taste of hope, to see their eyes light up that maybe, just maybe, they're going to make it after all, that the underdog actually has a chance to win. And that's the work that the EPS Foundation supports.
Did you know Oklahoma teachers spend on average $459 out of their pockets for their classrooms? Each of them has a passion for teaching our students, and after we've experienced distance learning at home the past few months, we all know how valuable our teachers are. Your donation tonight helps the Edmond Public Schools Foundation provide classroom support for our teachers through great idea grants, professional development, and so much more. Donate today. You can bid on the auction items or make a donation to fund one of many needs. Maybe consider an alumni legacy gift. Caleb McCaleb is a lifelong resident of Edmond and is a 1980 Edmond Memorial High School alumnus. Caleb married his high school sweetheart, Terry, and together they own McCaleb Homes. Caleb is responsible for land acquisitions, finance, and design of the company's master plan communities. He is a 35-year veteran of the home building business and works with many local, state, and national community leaders to promote the success of the new home building industry. Caleb's passion for building and his love for kids has led to a lifelong commitment of philanthropic projects. Caleb and his team have done multiple dream home tours, charity home builds, and Streets of Dreams events that have raised record sums for Children's Hospital Foundation, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Hearts and Hands International. His team is presently building a tiny home project with Turning Point Ministries here in Edmond to benefit Turning Point's building mission. Caleb's hands-on approach to mission work has led to his Henderson Hills Baptist Church teams to build over a dozen churches in Nicaragua, Brazil, Ecuador, Wales, and Mexico. Caleb is a native Oklahoman and a member of the Chickasaw Nation. He holds a BBA from Baylor University, majoring in entrepreneurship and real estate. Caleb's family is his biggest joy and inspiration. He and his wife Terry have been married for 36 years and have 3 children, Carter, Braden, and Kylie. All of his children went to Chisholm Elementary, Cimarron Middle School, and Edmond Memorial High School. His children live in Edmond and have married wonderful spouses. So tell us about your relationship with the school district. You go way back.
I started here in school back when I was 6 years old, right, at Russell Doherty Elementary School. My second grade teacher, her name was Babe Hamilton, and she used to line us up at school, and she'd go through each child and tell them, "You're my favorite kid, you're my favorite kid." And she'd always look at our back where our shoulder bones would stick out and say, "Your wings are sprouting, you're such a little angel, your wings are sprouting." And that kind of stayed with me, right, as I grew older, that every one of us is special, and she really made that true.
I know you brought your dad here with you today. He an inspiration to you?
My dad is an inspiration. He's a Hall of Fame from Putnam City Schools. and from Oklahoma State University, and he has been a big, important piece of my life and really has influenced me.
Caleb was always sort of a self-starter. He had his own visions of where he wanted to go, and he's had the determination to see it through.
He's always told us, just do the best you can, strive to be the best you can, because you can, right? And, the one thing that I have really kind of come out of this pandemic with, right, is that, everybody said, hey, let's get back to normalcy, right? But with as important as our teachers, as we figured them to be, now that people have had to be teachers for their kids, right? I think people are going to come out of this and instead of striving for returning to normalcy, let's return and strive for extraordinary.
So this honor today, is there anything that you want to say and then how you're feeling?
I'm very honored. I really appreciate the foundation selecting me as one of the 3 inductees for the Hall of Fame. It's a big honor for me. I've lived here my whole life, and Edmond is really important. It's not just important to me as my family, but all the kids I see coming up. I see like most of my coworkers, they have 3 or 4 kids each, and it's important for me to see that they have the education that they deserve.
The Edmond Public Schools Foundation has helped support the FACS program in numerous ways over the years, including purchasing red jackets required for FACS competitions. The red jackets the FACS students wear are required for their competitions, and this past year, FACS student Megan attended nationals. She's found her passion in sewing through this class and wants to become a fashion designer. FACS students also practice the culinary arts, and they were planning on preparing and serving hors d'oeuvres and desserts for this in-person event. We wanted to share just a little of their talent with you virtually and encourage you to support programs like these by donating and bidding on auction items.
My name is Kristen Harris, and I teach culinary arts at Edmond Santa Fe High School. Over the years, the foundation has helped my classroom by providing chef coats and catering supplies so that my students are able to cater small events. My students also run a small cafe called the Faye Cafe. This cafe gives my students the chance to have a small amount of work experience in the classroom. And right now, 2 of my students are going to show you how to make one of our best-selling desserts.
Hi guys, I'm Gabby, and first off, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the cookie layer of our famous brookies. Okay, so first of all, we are going to beat our butter, and this is a ½ cup of butter, brown sugar, and white sugar. Got a ½ cup of brown and a 1/4 cup of white, ½ teaspoon of vanilla. And we are just going to beat that until creamy. And now we are going to add our egg. Just crack that in there. And we're gonna beat this for about 2 minutes. Okay, so now that this is all combined, we are going to combine all of the dry ingredients. 1 1/4 cup flour. Just gonna put that in a separate bowl. Our ½ teaspoon of baking soda and ½ teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to whisk that together. And we're going to gradually add this into the wet mixture until it is completely combined. And once you have your mixture all combined into a dough consistency, you can go ahead and fold in a cup of chocolate chips, but you're just going to fold these in and then spread it out in your greased baking sheet. Just spread it out nice and evenly. You can top Oreos onto this if you'd like, or no Oreos. And now we're on to our brownie layer.
My name is Rayleigh, and I'm going to show you how to do the brownie layer of our brookies. 1 cup of sugar, ½ cup of melted butter, and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Now you will add 2 eggs and beat well. Now you will mix 1/3 cup of cocoa powder into the butter mixture until well combined. Now stir in ½ cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Now pour the brownie batter over your cookie dough. Now bake in your preheated oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. And here we have our Faye Cafe brookies.
Edmond Public Schools empowers all students to succeed in a changing society. We have all experienced change in our lives lately. When the in-person event changed to a virtual one, all of our sponsors and attendees agreed to transition their tickets into charitable gifts. We are so grateful for their commitment to public education here in Edmond. We want to ask you for your support too. With our changing society, your financial investment in our schools is needed more now than ever. The needs this upcoming year and going forward will be great, and it takes all of us as a community coming together to meet the needs of our schools in this changing society. Please consider a gift, legacy alumni gift, or recurring gift by donating any of the ways you see right there on your screen.
As an Edmondite and an alum of Edmond Public Schools, I was a benefactor of the citizens of Edmond who have continued to support Edmond Public Schools through bond issues, which we have not turned down since 1958. We have passed every bond issue that was ever floated here. I don't know where I'd have gone or what I could have found as a career to be able to help people find homes in an area where they can get an excellent public education for their children. I am a donor, I'm a sponsor, and I'm a believer in what happens. Unfortunately, state funding and even the school funding doesn't take care of all that we want to give our children the best possible education. And that's where the Edmond Public Schools Foundation comes in. Sitting through last year great grant, or great idea grants, and going out to the schools and teachers that are so dedicated and say, golly, if we could do this, if we could have our 8th graders build apps, but unfortunately we don't have the funding for that. Well, that's where the Edmond Public Schools Foundation comes in, and we were able to fund that. This deal is, it's fantastic. Everybody's dedicated. Our teachers are dedicated. The Edmond Public Schools Foundation board members are dedicated, and we all have one central goal, and that is to have the highest and best public education that our children can get. And that's why I'm a part of it. That's why I'm a sponsor.
Support Personnel of the Year, David Barker.
My favorite part about my job, I guess arriving in the morning, and as the kids arrive, the hugs, and the happiness that they show me each day. Most of them hug me, some like high fives, some, like just smile and say hi to them. I enjoy every minute of it. Can't beat it. And for me to be a finalist, I'm very proud, very happy. I don't, feel that I deserve it, but I appreciate it very much. I just work hard and try to do the best job I can do. I really want to give my night crew most of the props because they do most of the work. I deal with, people and the children and, the day shift work, but the most work is done at night. And I appreciate Rael Marcos, Henry Cran, Jack Cooper, and Joseph Maloney. That's the backbone of my shift and my work.
This year's winner of the Edmond Teacher of the Year, Jessica Harriman.
I became a teacher because I knew that I wanted my life to have a profound impact on the world around me, and I felt it was my life's calling to serve the children in my community. But just because something feels like the right thing to do doesn't mean it always ends up happening. And so there were certain things in my life that led me to actually being able to become a teacher. And it started at home with my parents, who always encouraged me to be curious about the world around me, to ask questions, to never become complacent with who I was or what I thought I could achieve. And I saw the way they respected teachers, and they made me feel like teachers were truly revered. I was a student in Edmond Public Schools, so I was having that opportunity to be taught by the best of the best. And I remember looking up at my first grade teacher and telling him that I wanted to be a teacher just like him one day. And I meant it. And after that year of first grade, I continued to have these teachers that impacted my life because of the enthusiasm they had for educating children and for building relationships and for impacting their lives beyond just the classroom. And every year that I experienced that, I realized that that's the impact I want to have on the world. And I knew that I wanted to be not just like my first grade teacher, but now I wanted to be like all of them.
Edmond has grown, so has the school district. The Edmond community has been very supportive by consistently approving bond issues, which provide for the facilities needed to accommodate the growth. However, operating budgets are constrained by state funding and other restrictions. In order to help keep our schools and our community at the top, the goal of Edmond Public Schools Foundation is to continue providing for the teachers and students in the areas where the district budgets are restricted. Whether it's the classroom grants, supporting social emotional learning, or training for our teachers, you can be part of supporting our schools by donating to the foundation through the ways you see on your screen. Our final inductee is Howe French. Howe was born in OKC and moved to Edmond when he was 3. He started the first grade in Ms. Moore's class at Russell Doherty, and 12 years later, he graduated from Edmond High School. His sister Peggy, who's 3 years older, attended 1st through 3rd grades at a 2-room Edmond school called Sunnyside, which was located on the northwest corner of 33rd Street and Highway 77, now I-35. Howe has 2 children, Gabe, 38, who graduated from Edmond North in 2000, and Megan, 36. Howe graduated from UCO in 1974 and started in the oil and gas exploration business in 1976 and sold his business in 2003. When asked to share a fond memory of his time in Edmond Public Schools, he said, "I think we all remember our teachers, some more than others, but they all left an impression on us." Here to tell us more about his lifelong friend is David Thompson.
Hal French and I have known each other probably more years than we care to admit. I met Hal first in junior high, and we went to junior high, high school, college, and we've known and been friends our entire adult life. We even served 6 years in the United States Army Reserves. And I only say that because it's illustrative of the fact that not only has Hal paid his dues to his community, but also to his country.
Do you have any favorite memories that stand out as a classmate of his?
I have a lot of memories of Hal as a classmate, most of which I cannot say in public tonight. But I do remember one thing. Hal has always been very industrious, and he's always had the ability to make money. It's just kind of a talent that he has. And I never will forget when he was 16 years old, he bought, with his own money, not his mom and dad's money, but with his own money, a 1967 Pontiac GTO. It was baby blue, had a white vinyl top, white interior. It was the most beautiful car I had ever seen in my life. Well, to contrast that, I was driving a 1948 black Plymouth. So I thought, you know, Hal can make money and save it, so can I. So he was very helpful to me as a mentor in that respect.
You said he had a natural ability to kind of be successful, but what did the school district, you think, do in particular?
How thankful he was to grow up in Edmond, to be in Edmond Public Schools because of the teachers and mentors that had a profound effect on him, to really shape and mold him for the future. And he's always indicated that he wanted something that he could do personally to pay back or to give back to the district, to the foundation, and to the entire Edmond community. Several years ago, determined to himself that there was a gap in some of the services that were being provided, simply because of budget shortfalls. So he, after a lot of research, decided to give to the foundation in a very significant way so that the foundation could then support financially resources for educational or for social and emotional training support for those students who needed it. And this program really started in the mid-highs, and it provided counselors to work with students who had some needs and needed additional support in this area. Also, it helped the counselors provide information and education to students regarding substance abuse and alcohol abuse.
This is all because one person saw a need that wasn't being met?
That's correct. And how was the genesis of this program? Now, about a year ago, the foundation started a community fund so that all citizens of Edmond, if they have it within their heart or in their financial means to contribute, they can, to make sure that the program continues and grows into the future. So, Harold French, you've done an awful lot of great things for the foundation, for the Edmond Public Schools, and for Edmond as a community. There is nobody more deserving tonight to be inducted into the Hall of Fame than you. Job well done.
According to Superintendent Town, Edmond Public Schools is in the business of preparing students to be college and career ready. It is also critical and an equally important component to educate the whole child by enhancing their social and emotional well-being. In the 2020 annual report, he goes on, a growing body of research points to the critical role educators play in cultivating inner strength in your children through regular practices and programs. Here to talk more about social emotional learning is Ruthie Riggs, lifetime educator, former Edmond Public Schools administrator, and now an Edmond Public Schools Foundation board member.
In order to explain social emotional learning and how it benefits all students, I like to compare it to learning to read. Most students don't show up at school and innately know how to unlock the mysteries of reading, like, what do I do? There's two vowels together, and what do I do with the silent E at the end of a word? Students need basic reading instruction with step-by-step strategies so that they know what to do when they stumble onto a word that is unfamiliar. And so they get specific strategies. They get their phonics skills, and that's how they know what to do with something unfamiliar. Most of us still remember those strategies, like when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and some people refer to the silent E as a sneaky E. Well, the same holds true for social emotional learning. Students need different kinds of decoding skills to unlock the mysteries of the emotional world. And to be successful in school, in work, or in life, we all need to have appropriate responses to the inevitable ups and downs of life with a wide range of emotions. What do we do with feelings of anger, frustration, fear, and sadness? And we would never say to a young reader, just read. Instead, they're given step-by-step strategies for what to do when they stumble onto an unfamiliar word. But when it comes to emotional learning, historically, the adults have said, be good, behave. Well, they don't know what to do with that. So they need, just like reading, they need specific strategies of what to do and how to handle those uncomfortable emotions. And years from now, students who have had this kind of training will remember very specific calming strategies like the star, the pretzel, or the balloon to help manage their emotions. I remember one 5-year-old who was feeling angry, and I happened to be with him at the time, and when I asked him what his plan was to do things differently the next time, he step by step walked me through exactly what he would do. He said, I need to do a star. He didn't know that it was a multisensory approach to self-regulate himself. He just seemed like knew it was something helpful to do whenever he was angry. And because he's received that instruction, years from now, he will remember not only what two vowels do when they go walking, he'll also remember the star and that he needs to stop and breathe. Whether you're 5, 15, or 50, A public tantrum isn't an appropriate response. It's not healthy for the individual, and it's not socially acceptable. So students need to learn these regulatory skills and have lots of time to practice them prior to and throughout adolescence. And much in the same way reading skills develop, some kids get it the first time and other kids need additional time and support. And that's where additional counselors are so helpful, because they're available to help students internalize those skills when they need more time. They can work with small groups, or they can work with individual students until they have internalized the self-regulatory skills to calm themselves down. And then when you have an entire classroom, an entire school where there's been common training among the staff and students with these commonly accepted ways of handling emotions, you have a much healthier individual student, but you also have a healthier learning environment for all students. And that's why conscious discipline training and additional counselors play such an important role in preparing students for all areas of life.
As you have heard through this program, along with their excellent educational curriculum, Edmond Public Schools is providing opportunities for the whole child, including providing nutritious meals for the 27% of students in our district who qualify for free or reduced meals, incorporating social emotional learning into the curriculum, and providing leadership opportunities through extracurricular activities. One way the foundation supports Edmond Public Schools is by providing leadership opportunities for students. This past year, a student ambassador program was established where students from all 3 high schools came together to support their district through the foundation. You can support these types of programs by bidding on the auction, funding a need, or making a one-time recurring gift. All of the ways you can do this are detailed right there on your screen, or you can visit the website edmondpsf.org.
Hi, I'm Peyton Shears, a 2020 Edmond Public Schools graduate and student ambassador for the foundation. I personally know how important the community is to Edmond Public Schools and the foundation. This summer, I will be an intern for the foundation before I start college at the University of Oklahoma. I plan to study biology while also getting a minor in nonprofit management so I can help others get access to healthcare who may not have it. While participating as a student ambassador for the foundation, I was really surprised when Superintendent Town told us that Edmond was among the most underfunded school districts in Oklahoma. That's not okay. When the foundation had to shift its in-person event to a virtual event, Fox 25 jumped right in because they know how important public education is in our community. Partners like Fox 25 and people like you are what allow the foundation to support students, teachers, and the district, especially in times like these. That is why it is my honor to present this plaque showing our appreciation to Fox 25 for partnering with us for tonight's virtual event.
Thank you, Peyton. Yes, we at Fox 25 firmly believe in public education. We have a lot of employees that send their children to Edmond Public Schools, including, as you heard earlier, Wendy Suarez. There's still plenty of time to make a contribution. So call the number below before the end of this special and really help out public schools in Edmond.
Hey, come on, get out here. Get out here. Are you on a scale, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah! Hey, stand here and wave as we drive by. Hey, we love you. We love you.
Edmond Public Schools believes in providing students with rich experiences and opportunities that result in high achievement in academics, athletics, fine arts, and co-curricular activities by focusing on teamwork, quality, and integrity they believe empower students to succeed. You, the community, are part of that team. It takes all of us. So please make your gift to the Edmond Public Schools Foundation. The Hall of Fame auction will close today, but you can always make your donation online at edmondpsf.org. Consider a monthly ongoing gift that you can set up on our website. There's never a shortage of need for our schools, classrooms, and students. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ashley Wood.
And I'm Kaylin Wynn, and we are proud student ambassadors of the Edmond Public Schools Foundation. We would like to express our sincere thanks to the Edmond Public Schools Foundation for the opportunities, support, and guidance they provided us.
Through them, we have learned how to become active leaders in our community and how, through hard work and dedication, we can continue to improve and contribute to our communities.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Exclamation point!
Thank you for supporting our schools.
Thank you for supporting our schools. It's the best way to support our children, our grandchildren, and our community for the future.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much from the student ambassadors.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for supporting our schools.
Thank you to everyone that plays a part in the Edmond Public Schools Foundation. It is through your generosity and your support that we are always encouraged to dream bigger and bigger every year, and we're grateful.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for supporting Edmond Public Schools.
Thank you, Edmond Public Schools Foundation, for supporting the students at Central Middle School.
Thank you for supporting my school. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for helping our schools.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Edmond Public Schools Foundation.
Thank you, that's right.
Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. For those of you who have already made a donation this evening, thank you for your contribution. For those of you still considering this, please be aware this will be a very challenging year for the Edmond Public Schools and the overall budget situation. Anything you can do will be greatly appreciated. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you for watching the Edmond Public Schools Foundation Virtual Hall of Fame, sponsored by Brad Reeser.